Hello, this is Ryan from Amnesty, and I'm going to show you Gandhi, or India. I'll tell you about what victory condition I'd recommend if you were to play him, his social policies, and his two unique units, or more or less his one unique unit and unique building. So, you'll have population growth, which means unhappiness from number of cities is doubled, and the unhappiness from number of citizens is halved. Now, what does that really mean? Essentially means the less is more. If you have 3 cities, let's say, the more people you have in your civilization, the amount of unhappiness you gain from that will be halved. It allows you to have huge cities, and the more population that goes up, you won't have that unhappiness that you get from other civilizations. I mean, you'll still get it, but you won't have it quite as much. And theoretically, it will literally be halved, because again, that's what it says. So essentially, you don't want to sprawl out as India, which makes this civilization one of the best ones to play culturally, because again, if you have many cities, it's just going to hurt you. Now again, just a quick reference out there, if you play on normal difficulty and you don't really play any other way, or even lower than normal difficulty, you can kind of sprawl out. Once you get to 9 citizens, it will negate the whole unhappiness from cities is doubled sort of thing. It'll handle itself out. So you could do that way as well, but I wouldn't recommend it, because I know I play on a harder difficulty than Prince usually, or normal difficulty, and it doesn't exactly work out that way, so it makes it a little more challenging. At any rate, the 4 victory conditions. Number 1 would definitely be cultural victory. Again, because you're going to be small, and you have buildings that will help you out culturally. So definitely number 1 will be culture. Second one, I would say you could easily win a diplomatic victory, because again, you're going to be small. Most AI like small civilizations because you are not in competition with their land. But also, on the flip side, they will also attack you generally because, again, you are small. It means you usually have less military than most civilizations, so they will kind of go after you. Just try to keep the peace. And the 2 that I would not recommend would definitely be domination is not one of them, because you can't really take over a city. If you do take over a city, you're growing your cities. You're just getting way more unhappiness than you need. It's not exactly recommended. I mean, it is possible. And then the other one is scientific. Small empires such as India will not have a very good time with science, because the more cities you have, the more science you get. The smaller cities that you have, you may have more people, you may have more specialists to help out in that regards, but you still have a challenge with that. So I would not recommend that one either. And now I'll show you the 2 unique units, which is the War Elephant and the Mughal Fort. Alright, for the War Elephant, he'll cost you 70 production or 140 faith. He's an archery unit. His combat's going to be 9. He'll have 11 ranged, 2 range, and movement of 3. So he will not have defense terrain bonuses, meaning if you're in the hills or in a forest, you will not get a defensive bonus because of it. And he may not melee attack, which isn't obvious. They've got bows. You're not just going to throw a bow at somebody and melee attack them that way. So with this unit, you'll want to stay out of range of melee units as best as you can. And then this also will replace the Chariot Archer, or I'm sorry, yeah, the Chariot Archer. I don't know what I was thinking. Also, you will not need elephants to make this unit. You don't need to be near elephants, so that's another added bonus. And now for the other unit, the Mughal Fort, will cost you 150 production. It'll give you 2 culture. It'll also give you 7 defense plus 25 HP in your city, which is very nice. And then also an added bonus, it'll provide gold after flight is researched. And obviously you need walls, because this replaces the castle, and to get a castle, you need walls. So this right here, this building will help out culturally. And then another added bonus is if you have guidance and kings, and I'm assuming you do, when you build, I can't really pronounce the word too well, but it starts with the Nishwashnin Castle. I know I pronounced that terribly. You'll get it when when you get railroad, you'll be able to build the wonder as well. If you're the one to get that, it will help you tons because you'll get extra culture, you'll get happiness, and even more gold out of it. So I highly recommend pairing that up with this building. But with that being said, I'll show you the social policy I'd recommend if you were to play India. Before I show you any social policies, I'll also tell you about India's start bias. This is a pretty good start bias, if I do say so myself, because they normally are near jungle. They are in grassland predominantly. Another start bias you'll probably tend to notice is that you'll be in not so hilly areas, but more or less just straight grassland. There may be tons of rivers and lots of grassland, which helps you develop tons of people in your cities. But with that out of the way, I'll show you the social policy that I would recommend if you were to play India, and it would definitely be patronage. As any other civilization that you will play, if you want to win a cultural victory or maybe even a diplomatic victory, you'll want to go with patronage, because this helps out with city-state influence. You'll be able to have them as buds. You'll get their added perks, the happiness, the food, the extra culture from some of them. As always, the Greeks are usually king as far as that go, so if you do have them in your game, you'll have to compete against them, so chances are they won't exactly be your friend. And sometimes the Greeks can be a little bit aggressive, but again, that doesn't always mean the Greeks will be in your game. Usually they're not. So definitely go with that, and also go with tradition. You do not want to expand as India, plain and simple. I mean, if you are, so be it. It's whatever you want to do, but if you really want to play India as they're meant to be played, you want tradition, because you want to stay small. And tradition will help you out with that. It'll help out with the happiness, and it will also help grow the city that you have, or your multiple cities. So those are the two social policies I'd recommend. I hope you guys like this video. Please rate, subscribe, and comment, and check out my other videos.